So, Flat Earth, I've had enough of this shit, alright? Look at this guy. Look, he can barely contain his laughter as he grifts people with his bullshit. He's appealing to authority here with the Bible, as if the Bible is the arbiter of truth, and then he goes and references these verses, which are already out of context, given that they've been translated from, well, Hebrew to, English or some other language, or Latin first, I think, and then in English, and things have been taken out of context. A good example is Jesus went on Palm Sunday to town on a donkey. A donkey was a pimped out ride back then. You had to walk if you're poor. But a donkey today seems like he was poor and broke, and he was just riding into town like a hobo, right? But that was not the case. They laid palms down for his donkey to walk on. That's what Palm Sunday. So there's a good example of how perceptions change. It's called semantics. Cops use semantics all of the time. Legalese, because cops lie by semantics. It's like exactly in COVID. People died, inverted commas, with COVID, not from COVID. That was a get out of jail clause, legalese, for being... what's the word I'm looking for? Come on, semantics, people. Liable. Having liability. See? It was the truth. People died with, COVID. They died with dandruff too. I'm sure they died with tinea and various other things. So that's an example of taking things out of context. So let's have a look at this. Water's a straight, not curved. So he's added not curved. So we go to job 3710. The breath of God produces ice and the broad waters become frozen. Well, that's got nothing to do with flat earth. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Anyway. So that's crap. And that's one variation. I mean, I've just looked up the Bible. So as I said, things get taken out of context due to translation alone. And that's inadvertent. It's not deliberate. Not like the Schofield Bible to get all these evangelistic Christians to, suck on a Israeli cock. Right? So, anyway... back to this. Earth measured with a line not curved. Job 3845. Here we go. Who stretched a measuring line across it? Well, I can stretch it. Well, hold on a second. I just quickly Googled how to measure your waist. There's a tape measure going around. That's I guess it's a matter of interpretation, isn't it? So this guy's a grifter. Look, the guy's almost smiling as he reads this. I'm having a bit of a chuckle myself. So, let's get into the science. Let's look at the moon. Go up there at night, have a look. Sometimes it's a full moon. Sometimes it's a half moon. And sometimes it's a crescent moon like we have over here. They're the shadows you get on a sphere, okay? If it was a flat surface, they're either 100% in the light or not at all. As the sun goes around the edge of the flat surface from front to back, okay? No argument there. If you can't understand that, well, slap yourself in the face and say, I'm an idiot because I can't understand basic physics. So somehow we've got evidence of a spherical planetoid right there in front of our noses, yet somehow the Earth isn't. The Earth isn't that. Another one of them. No, it's flat. Yeah, okay, yeah. But somehow gravity works on me and pulls me to the Earth's surface, but the Earth is immune to gravity. And when I die and my spirit moves off somewhere else and, well, everybody, and their body turns to dust again, then all of a sudden that becomes part of the Earth, which is immune to gravity. But when they become alive or even an inanimate object like a ball, like a basketball, all of a sudden gravity affects it. So what the fuck is holding this planet, this flat Earth up in the space, not falling? What the hell? Have you ever slapped yourself in the face again? I'm really bemused. How can people function if they don't know this? For example, here's a sphere. The guy's standing on the bow of his yacht. He can only see about 3 miles. The guy in the lighthouse, which is really high up, can see 14 miles because he can see further around this curve. Right? You can understand that, I hope. I really hope you can understand that. Please. Now here's a working example. This is Mount Oberon. I think it's 556 metres above sea level. And you're looking out on this island here. There. It's called Cleft Island. You can see right to the base, right? You can see off into the distance a long way further to the horizon, okay? And look, I had a lot of trouble finding this example when I was Google searching to get this photo. So the lengths I'm going to is just pissing me off to, prove this very obvious point. And I had an even harder time finding this rock from the beach. You can't see the base. You can only go down to Wilson's Prom, look out there. It's behind this bullshit. Fucking Jesus. Okay, a few minutes later I found another picture. We can only see half the fucking island, okay? Because half of it's over the edge of the horizon. There's your proof, alright? Climb any hill, go to the beach, look out at an island if you don't believe me. Slap yourself in the face and appreciate the effort I've gone into to find this example. Because I used to go and... I saw this when I was a little kid, I went out on the beach when I was a little kid. I said, I can only see half the island. I went up Mount Oberon because we used to do that, at sunset. Look out there, this is a Cleft Island, there's a Skull Rock. The Skull Rock, we called it. You was a 6-year-old. What the hell is wrong with you? Slap yourself in the face. Okay, some more dipshit. Physics. Here we have flat Earth and all the water is held in by ice, which somehow, even though it's closer to the sun, because the sun, of course, goes around, and I don't know what holds the sun up if the Earth is just hovering in space for some reason. I don't know. Why is the sun a sphere? I don't know. Anyway, that would melt the edges more so than the middle of the Earth, which is, where the equator is, in the tropics. Yeah, what the hell? Come on. Gee, please, slap yourself in the face. Oh, here we go again. We all know that seasons are real, okay? We have winter and we have summer. And if we go to the equator, it's hot all the fucking time, okay? So, what happens? Well, as you know, if you angle something directly at the sun, it's going to get a lot hotter on that surface than it is at an angle because there's more sun getting onto it, perpendicular to the sun. If you're really on an edge, there's only a little sliver of sun getting on that large surface area. I don't want to go into it if you can't understand that. Anyway, all right. So here's the sun, right? And this is not to scale, by the way, you idiot.
What is this?
A center for ants! What?
How can we be expected to teach children to learn how to read if they can't even fit inside the building?
Okay, so we're not that close to the sun, by the way. Okay, now the sun here, let's pick summer here in the northern hemisphere. Obviously here, the Earth is tilted towards the sun higher up here. There's more daylight hours, it gets warmer. And here, the North Pole is in the shadows 24/7. Go up there if you don't believe me. Go and enjoy go fly to frickin' Iceland. It's this right now actually, and enjoy the midnight. No sun. Okay, the equator's mostly perpendicular to the sun here, right? So it's hot all of the frickin' time. Here at a steep angle, okay, you get less sun on per square meter. I don't know if you've got the ability to have that as a concept. Less sun per square meter because it's at a steep angle, like up at the poles, which are frozen, okay? So sun's shining here, hitting the Earth at this ridiculously steep angle. So there's that amount of sun is spread over a larger distance for a very small cross-section of sun, okay? Look, I don't know how to say it any more simple than that, okay? And because the Earth is on a bit of a tilt, we get more sun in summer and less in winter, okay? And spring and autumn, they kind of even each other out. Oh, please. Nobody bothers to explain seasons with this theory because it doesn't fucking work. For some reason, I don't know why these are round. Why aren't these falling? What's holding this up? What? Jesus. Air has weight. You know air has weight. You know why? Because you can't breathe on top of Mount Everest. It's really, really high and the air is thin. It's a lot thicker down at sea level. But hey, it just doesn't fall off the edge. I mean, you could argue that the ice holds the water in, but what's holding the air in? No, this is just fucking dome. Like, what is it? Maybe it's glass. I don't know. But on the up note, a lot of people who believe in flat earth lack the ability of physics because they're not doing a job that has anything to do with physics, which is mainly women. All right? It's what? Not what do they say? Equity? Equity is equal outcome. Equality is equal opportunity. Now, when you have equal opportunity, there's more engineers that are men than women because they just don't naturally migrate to that area. So therefore, you could argue that I'm an emotional moron. Perhaps that's true, but when it comes to physics, bitch, you're a moron, okay? Shut the fuck up. So why is this guy having a bit of a chuckle, trying to convince people that the Earth is flat? Well, I don't know. It's just a natural urge to prank people, I guess. But on the upside, he could probably pick up women just going along with bullshit that they want to believe in. You know, I missed out on so much pussy by just standing my ground and just calling a spade rather than going along and entertaining what women want to hear. A player. I don't want to play. That sounds like fucking hard work. Pay me. I'll be man whore. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, imagine if women, were doing that to men, playing men. It'd be just like paying a hooker to lie to you. You know? Pay me. So why are players players? Well, they want to basically build up their ego, their manlyhood, their narcissism by a conquest of a woman. That's what it is. Me, I just want to get my freak on. I'm just a filthy slut. I don't have any narcissistic tendencies to conquer a woman, right? But that's what a player is, and when a woman gets played, she dyes her hair blue, gets fat, and turns into a lesbian. And then picks on beta males because she still has hope in going out with an alpha who played her in the first place. Honestly, I haven't heard one guy say that the Earth is flat. It's always women. Why? Come on, pull your shit together and go and do some science.